This week's featured speaker talked about some of the tools that you can use in Blackboard with students and some of her favorites. So I thought before you go any further that I would go ahead and show you where you can find those. So off to the left-hand side, as you know, you have the buttons that the students can use, and then underneath that you have a control panel that only teachers see when they're leading a course. In here you have a button called Class Tools, and in Class Tools, if you scroll down, you're going to find a button called Send Email. When you click on this button, it comes right up with a window in which you can decide, do you want to email one of your students or do you want to email the whole group? So if you send one to all users, for example, this will automatically populate everybody who's enrolled in your class. For your students in your classroom, this means that this goes to their @lsr7.net account. So if your students are not trained and told to check that mail account, they are not even going to know that this email came to them. So that's the teacher part, where they need to make sure their students actually know and use their Gmail, and this will funnel right to them and you don't have to do anything else. The return receipt will just send you a copy of what you sent to them. And then there's a submit button at the bottom and there's also one at the top. It doesn't matter which one you click, just as long as you click one of those, and that will automatically send an email. There's also an option where you can choose individual students. Another tool mentioned are announcements, and you guys have probably all experienced this if you've ever done anything in Blackboard. You have a button to announcements here. An even easier place to send an announcement to your students is to click on the button announcements. And as soon as you do, you see in order of most recently sent will be at the top and the older ones will be at the bottom, but you'll see a button there for create announcement, and give it a subject. You can color code that if you'd like. Scroll down, type your message, and remember to always do that spell check because it will not automatically do that for you. The one thing I want to say that let me show you this first. Duration, I always say not date restricted, in that makes, again, the most recent announcement at the top, the first thing they see, and then I have a nice digital kind of an archive of everything I've sent, so students know that it was there, that it was sent to them. You can do date restricted, so if you don't want the announcement to show up until a certain date, this is time stamped, and you can make that go away at a certain time. Now if you date restrict and you send an announcement, it will still send it immediately. Immediately means immediately. So that's why I do not date restricted, send an announcement email. So this means not only will they see it when they first log into Blackboard, but it also sends it to their @lsr7.net mail account. If you want to do a class link on there, I rarely do that, but if you wanted to, you can browse out to something in Blackboard and it will link it, and again, click submit, any submit that you'd like. She also talked about assignments. We're actually going to talk about those this week, so you'll see those here pretty soon. Web links, we've talked about that before, and that's something that I'll bring up a lot. And a web link is just you put a hot link in so that it goes to a certain website for you. When we met face to face, I showed you how to make one of the buttons at the top so the kids click on it and it goes right to a website. If you need a review on that, it'll happen naturally throughout this time, but you can go ahead and ask me if you'd like as well. Gradebook, that will be in our last face-to-face meeting. In groups, we're going to go ahead and dive into groups since she mentioned it. So if you go into my class that I have created and you click on a group, the groups button, I have already put each of you into a group. And I have gone ahead also with that group. You're only going to see one group. You're going to see the group that you are enrolled in. You're not going to see all of them. I'm the teacher, I see them all. If you click in your group, I just want you guys to see for right now all of the different tools that you can turn on for students. Not that you will, but that you can. And then later I'm going to show you how you create these groups. The next thing she talked about were student voices, is she liked the feedback she got from her students. And definitely when you use Blackboard with your students, definitely listen to their feedback. What was easy, what was hard, what was confusing, what was complicated, what do you keep, what do you abandon? That's all really important feedback for you to hear from your students. The last feature she talked about was chat, and quite honestly, I have never used that. I'm not sure that we have that in our Blackboard. If it sounds like something you're interested in, let me know and I will investigate it. Thanks, and go ahead and go to the discussion board.